Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because, well, we're going to look at something pretty much all of us deal with, but very rarely actually understand. We are diving deep into the fascinating psychology of tidying up, and we're going to frame it through a lens you might not expect: mental health and self-care. Now, right out of the gate, I want to validate something for you. If you are someone who obsessively cleans the moment you get stressed out, or on the flip side, someone who totally freezes up when things get messy, you are entirely 100% normal. Today, we're going to see how the urge to clean is way more than just some mundane household chore. When we look at it therapeutically, it's actually this incredibly powerful psychological tool that your brain uses to regulate itself.
So, have you ever caught yourself wondering why cleaning actually feels so therapeutic? Like, why does the simple physical act of just wiping down a kitchen counter or organizing a ridiculously cluttered desk instantly lift a heavy mood? Or why is it that just walking into a beautifully organized room literally makes your shoulders drop an inch? Honestly, it feels like magic. But I promise you, it's not. It is pure neuroscience and psychology. So let's set the stage for a therapeutic journey right into the mind and uncover exactly why our physical spaces hold so much absolute power over our internal well-being.
It's a totally fascinating contrast, isn't it? You might look at a room and feel completely paralyzed and overwhelmed by a mess, like you can't even begin to tackle it. Or you might be the type of person who is deeply soothed by jumping right in and getting things tidy. But here is something absolutely incredible. Both of these reactions, they originate from the exact same place in your brain. Your brain is simply trying to process your environment and figure out if you are safe.
Section 1. The need for control, finding order in the chaos.
What's absolutely crucial to understand here, and I say this so often when discussing mental health, is that the urge to organize isn't genuinely about neatness. It's really not about having a perfectly aesthetic home for social media. Rather, it's a deeply biological drive to find predictable control. You see, when your internal life feels chaotic, unpredictable, or highly stressful, your brain goes on the hunt for something, literally anything, it can control. Organizing your physical space becomes a highly effective way to create order on the outside when things feel incredibly messy on the inside. There's this incredibly powerful saying, "Clutter whispers unfinished business all day long." Think about that for a second. Your subconscious mind actually treats your physical environment as a continuous safety signal. It's always scanning. For people who are highly sensitive or who just feel things intensely, the subtle whisper of a stack of unopened mail or a pile of laundry, well, that quickly turns into deafening, stressful noise. They aren't organizing to be impressive to guests. They're organizing to turn the volume down on that noise so they can finally feel safe and quiet inside their own minds.
Section 2. Your brain on tidying, the biology of cleaning. Picture this. Have you ever had an incredibly stressful day at work? You come home, and suddenly you find yourself aggressively reorganizing a kitchen drawer. Come on, we've all been there. Well, that isn't just a random burst of manic energy. That is actually your brain attempting to biologically stabilize you. It's a brilliant subconscious coping mechanism to self-soothe when your nervous system is completely dysregulated. Let's break down the actual brain chemistry at play here. When you engage in tidying, you're basically completing a series of micro-tasks: making a bed, wiping a counter, putting away a book. And every single time you finish one of these tiny tasks, your brain releases dopamine. That's the good job chemical, a little hit of satisfaction. Concurrently, as your space actually becomes tidy, you experience a measurable reduction in cortisol, which is your body's primary stress hormone. So that lighter, breathe easier feeling you get after cleaning? No, that isn't just in your head. That is your biology doing exactly what it was designed to do, to protect you from chronic stress. Section 3. Cleaning as active mindfulness, meditation in motion.
You know, traditional mindfulness, sitting completely still on a little cushion and just focusing on your breath, can be incredibly agonizing for a lot of people, especially if you're feeling really anxious. But if we reframe the physical act of tidying, we can actually transform it from this tedious, dreaded chore into an active, grounding form of meditation. It is practically perfect for those of us who struggle to just sit still, offering a great way to anchor the mind through physical movement. And putting this into practice is incredibly simple. First, you gently identify the mess, and hey, do this without judging yourself for it. Second, you find the rhythm. This is the real secret, whether it's the back and forth motion of sweeping a floor or the binary decision-making of sorting objects, you just lean right into that repetitive rhythm. Finally, you use that rhythm to physically ground your body and your mind in the present space. You aren't worrying about tomorrow's meeting, you are just sweeping. It is incredibly regulating for your nervous system.
But wait, beyond all that biological soothing,
There's another really beautiful layer to this whole thing. Organizing is also a profound form of self-expression. Once all that stress is finally cleared away, the home essentially becomes a canvas. The way we carefully arrange our favorite books, exactly where we display our thriving plants, how we intentionally open up space in a room, it is literally a way of creating art through space. You're turning your physical home into a tangible reflection of your inner self, creating an environment that uniquely supports your spirit.
Section 4. Releasing old emotional baggage. Letting go of the past.
Okay, let's slow things down for a second, because this is the heavy, deeply emotional side of organizing. Decluttering isn't just about throwing away trash, not at all. When it's approached intentionally, decluttering serves as an incredibly safe, physical way to process grief, navigate big life transitions, and gracefully release old identities that just don't fit who you are becoming anymore. Think about it. Old clothes that no longer fit but remind you of a totally different era of your life. Broken gadgets you swore you'd fix someday. Or unused gifts from people you secretly feel obligated to please. These aren't just objects. They're items carrying immense emotional weight. Sorting through these physical things can feel weirdly heavy, exhausting, or even tearful. And I want you to know that is perfectly okay. You are doing hard work. You are literally rewriting your inner story by deciding exactly what physical artifacts get to accompany you into your future.
I don't need this part of me anymore. Think about that phrase. When you finally drop an item into a donation box, that is exactly what your subconscious is saying. Letting go of these physical items is the ultimate act of releasing emotional baggage. It's a tangible, undeniable way of giving yourself full permission to move forward, completely unburdened.
Section 5. Tidying as emotional self-care. Shifting the internal conversation.
So all of this inner work brings us to our final integration phase. When we put it all together, we realize that organizing really isn't about the objects themselves at all. It is entirely about intentionally choosing what stays and what goes, to meticulously reflect exactly how you want to feel in your daily life. It's an active dialogue with your own well-being. When your space is messy, your internal dialogue whispers, "I am overwhelmed. I can't handle this." But by engaging in the act of tidying, you directly change the outside to change the inside. A tidy space whispers to your brain, "I am entirely capable. I've got this." You are literally shifting your internal narrative from defeat to empowerment just by organizing your environment.
So I really want you to remember this. Peace isn't something you find. It's something you create, one small task at a time. Hold on to this warm, forward-thinking truth. The very next time you feel a little better after organizing a shelf or clearing a counter, don't downplay it as just doing chores. Acknowledge it for what it truly is. You are lining up your body, your mind, and your soul. You are practicing deep, highly effective self-care right there in real time. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'd love to invite you to reflect for a moment. What does organizing do for you? Does it calm your anxiety? Does it help you focus? Think about it. I want to thank you so warmly for watching and learning with me today. If you found this psychological deep dive helpful, please go ahead and take a look at our other explainers for even more incredible insights into how your mind works. Keep creating your peace, one small task at a time.